him up, nail him a shot. We'll have to trade with this guy. Okay? Give me the other one. Give me the other one. No, take it off.
It was really, I think it was a growing animosity between my father and I. We weren't communicating as we once did. We weren't listening to each other. A lot of things were being said that I was taking very seriously. It got under my skin.
I get along with her great. Hector Roca's trainer and I communicate real well, because I could communicate with a trainer if he came from Mars. It wouldn't make no difference. We speak the same language. And Michael likes the language, he likes the communication, he likes the way we're working together. He's a very happy individual. You know what? We're having a lot of fun. This is important, because if you have fun at what you do, you can excel at it. See the way the guy's not throwing the jab? He's going to do the same thing with Mr. Hearns. Same thing. Discouraging him.
Don't whack with the punch. You lose your balance. Every time you want to punch, you're whacking with the punch. Okay. You know?
Yeah. When the psychology is right and physically I'm feeling good, I really, honestly don't believe there's a middleweight out there that can beat me. I really don't. I'm quick enough and intelligent enough and hit hard enough in the ring to take care of myself.
One of the hottest middleweights in the world, ladies and gentlemen, WBA middleweight champion of the world, Mike.
Welcome back live to the beautiful Mark G. Ennis Arena in Atlantic City. Huge crowd on hand as we close in on the WBO super middleweight title fight. Tommy Hearns versus Michael Olajide. One of the many celebs on hand, interested spectators, Sugar Ray Leonard, who beat Hearns at 81, fought the hitman to that controversial draw last June. Leonard sent to the canvas twice by Hearns. Hearns has certainly already established himself, Bertie, as a superstar, but he seems obsessed now with being #1 in the world. What do you make of Hearns' situation?
Well, I think realistically he sees Tyson's kind of out of the way. Leonard and Hagler kind of on hold, and it's his opportunity to break through to a position he's never really authentically held from 1980 to 1990. Now it's his time. But in order to get there, he must win, and win impressively against authentic and good competition.
It's a major crossroads fight as far as Michael Olajide is concerned. What kind of a chance do you give him?
I give him a chance because we don't know what kind of Tommy Hearns we're going to see tonight. Tommy Hearns' fights are all adventures. He is right at the point where he may be wearing out. He has been a champion for 10 years. He's had heavy campaigning. This could be the night that he's no longer Tommy Hearns. If Olajide takes advantage, if he uses Angelo Dundee's brains in the corner, if, it could be an interesting evening.
There have been some negative signs in terms of Tommy Hearns, the slurred speech pattern and all of that. Do you think he should discontinue fighting?
Not at this point. At this point, as long as he's winning, certainly off the performance with Leonard, which a fight that I thought he won, as did most of America, I think he's entitled to go and try to capture that elusive fame that he's been trying to get, to be the #1 man in boxing. However, if he can't beat an Olajide, or if he begins to take beatings, then they're going to have to go back, reassess it, because it really isn't worth it, as we know, to stay on too long and have damage to your brain.
Would you like to offer a fight doctor prediction?
I think you can't help but go with Tommy Hearns until he proves that one night he's no longer Tommy Hearns. You have to go with him, but you have to give Olajide an outside chance. If he boxes, if he's slick, if he outspeeds him and outthinks him, we could see an interesting fight.
All right, Ferdy, time now for the facts and figures. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Tommy Hearns getting set to meet Michael Olajide for the WBO Super Middleweight Championship. Hearns is 6 years older than Olajide. Everything else is almost equal. Height, weight, and reach about the same. Olajide did have to bulk up a bit. Hearns had to shed some pounds. The WBO rules will be enforced. And these are two fighters who also boast two of the top trainers in the world, Angelo Dundee and Emmanuel Stewart. As we close in on Fight Time, some final thoughts.
I think Olajide is going to come out and try to box Hearns. And I know for a fact that's the wrong thing to do, because there's not a boxer out there today that can outbox me. It may come right off the bat that I'm going to have to go out there and get the respect by hitting him hard, or I'm going to have to wait 3 or 4 rounds, or maybe I'll have to wait later into the fight. But there'll come a time I'll have to set down on my punches and say, Tommy, I'm here, and I'm going to have to show you what I got.
I think that Thomas's all-around talent and punching power should prevail, and he should win, and I would love to see a knockout inside of 5 rounds. But in case it goes to full limit, we're prepared for time he would just, you know, box and go for the decision. But I'd love to see a real dramatic performance.
It's a fine line. Greatness, champion, fine line. But when you cross that line, it's dynamite. I think Michael's going to cross that line. He's going to wind up being a world champion.
To me, this fight's everything. And I would just hate myself if I went in there and didn't get a chance to show what I was capable of doing and not putting up a good performance. More important to me, I'm an entertainer, I know that. And I have to put on a good show for the people, but I have to put on a good show for myself. Whatever the style may be, I'm gonna be ready for it. I'm aiming to give my best performance at all times.
So we're awaiting the main event here at the Mark G. Edis Arena, named in memory of the first president of the Trump Taj Mahal Casino Resort, good friend of Showtime as well, who died tragically in a helicopter crash last year. Let's go back now and take a look at the Michael Moore-Mario Melo fight just moments ago, which ended in the first round via the knockout route in favor of Michael Moore. Here is round one.
That's it. They're both left-handers, and you see the power that Melo brings at the very beginning, but he can't hit anything with it. He's not hitting anything but arms in the back of the head, and so therefore he wasn't taking Moore out of his game plan, which was to jab very effectively and try to land that straight left lead.
Melo was very boastful, as most fighters are, but he was more matter of fact. He had predicted an early knockout in his favor, but it was the other way around, and Moore just overwhelmed Melo.
And that was the first really authentic good left hand that just crunched him, and from there on out it was just a matter of time. His legs buckled. You know, he comes off of 8 straight knockouts, this Melo, and of course he thought, well, this is going to be another one of those things where it's going to be him or me. He was right. It was him or me, but it was him that left.
And Moore was coming off a 9th round knockout over Marcellus Allen here at Atlantic City back on February the 3rd.
You really didn't get to see enough of Moore to appreciate the development. And if he keeps getting these early knockouts, when's he going to develop his style? When's he going to learn? That's one of the problems with a guy that's a big banger. Sooner or later, you got to go 10 rounds and see what it feels like, 12 rounds. And that's when you decide whether you want to be a champion bad enough.
How do you think Michael Moore might do against Virgil Hill?
Oh, that would be a very interesting fight.
Oh, no support.
And down went Melo.
4, 5.
Moore thought he broke not 1 but 2 ribs.
7.
I don't know if he broke any ribs, but certainly from the way he's writhing, it certainly wasn't in any comfort. He got hit in the ribs. I didn't see it that hard until the replay, and then of course you did see a very effective punch right at the floating rib, the kind that does hurt.
152 of the first round. Michael Moore knocking out his 8th opponent in the first round of action. We are awaiting the main event. Michael Buffer is getting ready for the pre-fight festivities.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his entrance to the ring, the challenger for the next title bout, Michael "The Silk" Olajide.